In Mongolian Buddhism, there is Jamsaran, God of War, protector of the Dharma. He is painted red, like blood, like fire, 3 eyes, a crown of skulls, a horse trampling demons. He is not kind, he is not cruel, he is a function, the destruction of what must be destroyed, without hesitation, without regret. In 1921, the Mongols decided he had incarnated in the body of a German baron, with a saber, with blue eyes, with the name Roman von Ungern-Sternberg. Robert Nikolai Maximilian von Ungern-Sternberg, born in 1885, one of the oldest knightly bloodlines of the Baltic. The Teutonic Order, the Swedish Army, Napoleon's armies. Violence was a family tradition. As a child, silent, cruel, capable of sitting motionless for hours, staring at a single point, expelled from the Naval Cadet Corps for uncontrollable behavior. In the army, several duels, a saber scar across his forehead. He was not searching for victory, he was searching for war. Those are different things. During the First World War, Ungern frightened even his own men. He went on reconnaissance missions alone, without a weapon. He said that if you moved correctly, the enemy would not have time to fire. Several times, he was found unconscious after solitary attacks on German positions. Several times, he returned alive from places no one could have escaped. He never explained how. The soldiers loved him, feared him, sometimes both at once. That, perhaps, was his greatest talent. Mongolia changed him, not at once, gradually. The steppe does that. It is too vast for a person to remain who they were before it. He began studying Buddhism, sat with lamas for hours, wore a Mongolian deal over his military uniform. The Mongols looked at him with superstitious fear, eyes too blue, hair too pale, too strange. The shaman said this man carried something from another world within him. They simply did not yet know from which one. The Asiatic Cavalry Division, 850 men, Transbaikal Cossacks, Mongols, Buryats, Chinese, Japanese, Tibetans, Poles, Tatars, 1 American, no one knew from where, 22 languages, not a single common one except fear of the commander. The discipline was brutal. Looting, death. Cowardice, death. Disobedience, death. Ungern carried out executions personally, often with a saber. And yet, he never took trophies for himself. Slept worse than any soldier, rode into battle first. His officers could not understand. Was he a monster or a saint? Perhaps both. February 1921. Urga, 6,000 Chinese soldiers. Ungern, 800 horsemen. Twice he was thrown back. He attacked again. The third time, at night, in a blizzard, when no one expects an attack in weather like that. They emerged from the snow, 800 horses inside a white wall of storm, silent until the final moment, then everything at once. By morning, Urga had fallen. The Bogd Khan was freed. In the streets, the Mongols shouted, "Jamsaran has come." The Bogd Khan, the 8th Jebutundamba Kutuktu, spiritual and temporal ruler of Mongolia, blind, ill, held under arrest inside his own palace. Ungern entered his chambers at dawn. He had just taken the city. In his hand, a drawn saber. Blood stained the robe beneath the snow. The Bogd Khan could not see him. He listened instead. Then he quietly told the translator, softly, so only he could hear, "This creature came from a place that does not exist on our maps." What he meant by that was never clarified. After the capture of Urga, the executions began. Bolsheviks, communists, Jews, the lists were made arbitrarily. Neighbors' accusations, the wrong accent, Russian books. The bodies were left in the streets. Ungern forbade their removal, so the enemies would see. The Mongolian lamas who had welcomed him as Jamsaran began quietly leaving. In Buddhist mythology, the god of war destroyed the enemies of the Dharma, not civilians. But stopping the Baron had become impossible. His officers feared contradicting him. Some who tried disappeared. In the spring of 1921, Ungern summoned the shamans. He demanded a prophecy. The shamans performed the ritual. Then they said, "You have 130 days left to live. You will die by the hands of your own men." Ungern listened calmly. Then he asked, "How much can I still accomplish in 130 days?" The shamans gave no answer. They had already said everything that mattered. The Baron began preparing a campaign against Soviet Russia. His plan was both grand and insane: to ignite Cossack uprisings across Siberia, to unite with the remnants of the White Armies, to restore the monarchy from the Pacific Ocean to the Urals. 800 horsemen against the Red Army. His officers stared at the map in silence. To object was dangerous. To remain silent was terrifying too. It meant riding toward death. The shaman's prophecy echoed in every one of their minds. 130 days. He will die by his own men. They wondered, by his own. Does that mean us? Or are we the own men who will die beside him? August 1921. During the night, his officers rose against him in mutiny. Gunfire in the darkness. A knife. Ungern was wounded, and he walked into the steppe, alone, without a horse, without a weapon, wearing a Mongolian robe. For 3 days, he wandered the steppe. No one knows where he was going. Perhaps he himself did not know. This was the same man no enemy could kill. The man bullets seemed to avoid. The man whom the spirits of the steppe, according to the shamans, protected. It was his own men who found him. Novosibirsk, September 1921. Investigator Agranov later wrote in his report, "Ungern gives the impression of a man existing in another reality, not insane, but a man for whom our reality is neither the only one nor the primary one." During interrogation, the Baron spoke willingly. He explained his system of executions logically, without remorse. When the investigator said, "You are a murderer," Ungern replied, another voice, calm, almost gentle, "Yes, that is my function. And yours?" September 15th, 1921, Revolutionary Tribunal. The hearing lasted 15 minutes. The charges were read aloud. Ungern listened, standing upright, arms crossed. He was given the floor for a final statement. He remained silent for 20 seconds. Then he said, "Mongolia will be free. That will not change because you shoot me." Sentence: execution by firing squad, carried out the same day. The platoon commander later recalled, "He looked at us as though we were the ones being condemned." Mongolia gained independence, but a Soviet one. The Bogd Khan died in 1924. No successor was chosen for 70 years. In 1937, the Soviets destroyed what Ungern had tried to protect. 700 monasteries were destroyed. 30,000 lamas were executed. Buddhism in Mongolia was nearly annihilated. The Baron died 1 year before his 36th birthday, trying to prevent this. It happened. In Mongolian folklore, Ungern remained a deeply ambiguous figure, a demon who came to liberate, and did liberate, but brought with him his own horror. Jamsaran, the god of war, arrives when he arrives. leaves when the task is completed or impossible. He does not ask permission. Mongolia has been free since 1990. Buddhism has been restored, the monasteries rebuilt. Sometimes they say hoof prints are found in the steppe where there were neither men nor horses. It is probably the wind, only the steppe.